Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Hana Nurulita from International Program on Science Education 2018. In this video, I will explain about the particulate nature of matter and elements. So first, we will talk about matter and elements. Matter is defined as anything that occupies space, has mass, and made up of atoms and molecules. While elements are made of one kind of atom that cannot be composed in into simpler material by chemical reaction or physical properties. Each atom is certain element that becomes a compound or molecule when they bonded with other atom. So matter is made up of one type of elements or combination of elements. And next, for the physical properties of matter. First is all matter is made up of tiny moving particles invisible to the naked eye. Different substances have different types of particles which have different sizes, such as atoms, molecules, elements, and ions. And the second, the particles of matter can move all the time. In high temperature, the particle will move faster. And thus, in given temperature, the heavier particles will move more slowly than lighter particles. And fourth state of matter. State of matter can be classified into three states. First, solid state, second, liquid state, and the last, gas state. In a solid state, the particles attract one another, and for the substance are rigid and have definite shape. Volume of solid do not vary much with changes in pressure and temperature. Solid usually increase slightly in size when heated, that cooled by expansion, and also decrease in size if cooled, that called contraction, and this change is caused by temperature. The second is liquid state. In, and the second is liquid state. In a liquid, the particles are still close together, but they move around in a random way and often collide with one another. A liquid flows and assumes the shape of its container up to the volume of the liquid. Liquids are very hard to compress. The individual particles are confined to a given volume. Like a solid, a liquid volume is slightly affected by changes in temperature. And last, for gas state. In gas, the particles are relatively far apart and move freely at random in all space available, collide less often than a liquid, and it and at a given temperature has neither a definite shape nor a definite volume. It will take up the shape of any container into which it is placed and will spread out evenly within it. For volume of gases are affected quite markedly by changes in temperature. So for changes in three states caused by temperature. So the temperature is one of the factors that can cause the changes of state. And next, changes of state. This state can change into chemical changes and physical changes. For chemical changes, there are 6 characteristics. For the first is one or more substances are used up at least partially, and one or more new substances are formed. Energy is absorbed and released. There are gas formation, and there are formation of sediment and last, the occurrence of color changes. While for the physical changes, they are reversible changes and do not involve any changes in the chemical makeup of the matter. When temperature and pressure change of the system, phase changes occur. When the temperature and pressure is increased, the interaction between molecules also increase. During a physical changes, no new substance is formed. Common changes of the state include melting, freezing, sublimation, deposition, condensation, and evaporation. For physical changes, that the changes between liquid and solid. Like in the picture that's shown ice cube, the freezing is the process of liquid water changes into solid ice is termed as freezing. The warm water loses heat to the cold air in the freezer. This forces them to remain in fixed position, locked in place by the force of attraction between them. This way liquid water is changed into solid ice. The temperature at which it occurs is known as freezing point. And the second, if you took the ice cube from the freezer and place it in the warm room, so the ice cube will absorb the energy from the warmer air around them. So this process called by melting that changes from solid into liquid. So this process, the melting point is the temperature at which a solid changes into liquid. And next, the changes between liquid and gas. For the first is evaporation. If the water is hot enough and it starts to boil, the bubbles of water vapor are formed in the boiling water. The bubble will rise through the water and escape from the pot as steam. This process that changes from liquid to gas is called by evaporation. The temperature at which a liquid boils it is called by boiling point. And next, the condensation. Some hot water evaporates and when it comes in contact with cooler surface, it cools and loses the energy. The cooler water particles no longer have the energy to overcome the force of attraction between them. They come together and form the water droplets. This process in which a gas changes into the liquid is known as condensation. And next, there are changes between solid and gas. The process in which solid directly change into gases is known as sublimation. This occurs when solids absorb enough energy to completely overcome the force of attraction between them. For example, is dry ice. And last is deposition. Deposition refers to the process a gas changes directly to a solid without going through the liquid state. For example, when the warm, moist air inside the house comes into contact with a freezing cold window pane, water vapor in the air changes into the tiny ice crystal. And that's all from me. Sorry for all my mistake and thank you for watching.